Hey guys, I'm going to be talking about the whole idea of inventories in RPG and what my solution to it is. So the first thing in an inventory is you need an item. So my items here has a name, it has a raw name, it has a quantity, value, and net value. Now the raw name is the thing that the inventory is going to use to index it. So this is required. These are both required here. And a quantity, you don't necessarily need to have it, but I can't think of many cases where you wouldn't really want it. So it's there if you want it. And another thing here is a value. Every object has a value. A net value, which is dependent upon the quantity and value. And then there's a recalculate function here. Now, this is where you'd want to put anything that can change depending on other variables. So the quantity and value can be subject to change. So if it's a stock, the value can change. And, if you're selling items or buying items, the value can change as well. So that's great. We have items. Awesome. But we need something to store them in. So we have a container. The container just has a name and then inside, and that's it. Some of the functions here are what make it really useful and easy to use. So here, this is what defines it as an iterable. So we want to return a iterable of the items inside. That's all we're saying. So I'll show you how to use that later. And then here we have length, and just returns the length of inside. That's easy. Contains. So we take the raw name and we just check if it's inside our inventory. So again, that's why we need the raw name in there. The get item. This is where it would come in handy, like this. That's what this is for. And then set item here is for when you want to do something like this. So those are both not technically necessary, but quite useful when you want to deal with it in reality. So now we have two user-made functions here, add and remove. So add takes an item and a quantity, checks if it's below 0, and if it's below 0, you might as well use remove instead, just because you get a little more semantics out of it, and there's no point really. So you might as well use remove. But otherwise, if it's positive, we check if we already have the item in our inventory, then okay, we have another one, depending on the quantity. So by default it's 1, but you can change that. And then it recalculates the value. Otherwise, new item, so just go ahead and store it. So again, the remove. First of all, it checks if we even have the item. If we don't, it raises an error. And if the quantity is below 0, again, just use add because more semantics. So we know we have the item. So we go ahead and we check if the quantity is equal to how many we have, then we don't have any more. So just delete it, get rid of that. Otherwise, we just subtract however many we're removing, and again, recalculate. So here we go. We have a container, and we're going to define some items. So let's say we have a sword, and its worth is going to be 10, and then we'll have some gold, and we'll say this is gold coin. That's worth 1, and we have 50 of these. And then we'll have a potion, and that will be worth, let's say, 5. Okay, sorry about that. Alright, so let's go ahead and add the items into our backpack. So we'll add the sword, and we'll add in our gold. I'm not going to add the potion, just to test it out. And let's go ahead and let's see, do we have a sword in our backpack? Yes, we do. Okay, do we have a potion in our backpack? False. Okay, we don't. That's great. That's working great. Let's see. How many items do we have in our backpack? 2. Okay, that's working. So I'm going to show you how to loop through the backpack. So this is one way to do it. Print tuple, and that'll give you that. So you can say print tuple 0, and that'll only give you the names, and then you can do 1, and that'll only give you the actual instances of the objects. Personally, I don't really like this method. I would prefer using name comma item, and then you can do name comma item, and that's a lot nicer personally, because then you can do stuff like this: item.name and item.quantity, and there you go. So you can see that we have 50 coins and 1 sword, so that's great. That's working. So use that, it works. Another thing, I'm going to show you how to kind of a practical application for all of this. So, purchase. It's going to take any amount of items, I guess. We'll loop through them all. And if the item value is greater than the gold that we have. Also, no, another way that you could do this, if you use the raw name, so if you did that, that would work as well. But I think it's a lot nicer just to do that. So this would encourage you to make a file containing all of your items, which would also help, because then you could index all of them, and you have a complete list of all items in the game. But take your pick, do whatever you want. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this. Cheating. Okay, so if the worth of the item is greater than the amount of gold that we have, we don't have enough money, and it tells you how much more gold you need. Otherwise, type this out. We want to remove the gold amount, or the gold item, and the number of times we want to remove it is how much it's worth, and then add the item we're trying to purchase, and say you purchased a 0, then quotes, format that with the item name, and there we go. So let's try this out. Let's say purchase a sword and a potion. Okay, so it says we purchased a sword and a potion. But let's go ahead and let's see how much gold we have before and after. So backpack gold.quantity. Okay, so we have 50 before. Copy that. And yeah, so it took 35. So that's working. So I hope this helped to show you how a simple little thing here can help greatly reduce the complexity of, having to store items and keep track of values and all that. So I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys later.